Hello everyone, welcome back. Welcome back to the series of Serenity BDD with JBehave. This is part 5 video. If you have not watched the first 4 videos, I will recommend you to watch the first 4 videos and come to this video. So in the last session, we have seen what is exactly Serenity.properties and Serenity.config. I have created a WebDriver folder under resources. So I have placed different OS for the different WebDrivers. So in OS like Linux, I have placed Chrome driver and Gecko driver. In Mac, I have placed Chrome driver and Gecko driver. In Windows, I have placed 4 drivers, which is Chrome driver, Gecko driver, IE driver, and Edge driver, as we are configuring with Serenity.config file. Okay, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create a JBehave story. In order to create a JBehave story, I am creating under resources. I have already created a directory called stories. So let me create a new story file. I already got it. So it's a JBehave story. So if you don't find this extension, you don't worry. So if you want to create a story, let's create a new file and write the file name. Here I am writing the file name as GitHub, as I'm working with the GitHub application. So I'm using the story name as GitHub, and you can also specify dot story. So that becomes the story as JBehave. Okay. If I create it, so by default um, I got few default actions in JBehave story. I will explain each and everything in detail what exactly these components are. The first one is meta. So meta is nothing but the identifier. So if you are running the test cases individually, you can use the meta tag. So for every scenario or for every JBehave story, we can add a individual tag that will identify the story. So I will discuss the meta filter in the later videos. uh, and next part is the narrative. So whenever you are writing the story, so in the story you can have multiple scenarios. For the entire story, what is your basic idea of creating the scenarios? You need to narrate it using these three statements. The first one is as a user. So whenever you are using application, so you yourself call as a user. So as a user, you need to perform some action. So whatever the action you need to perform, you need to mention here. So in this GitHub story, I need to perform. So I need to perform. Uh, I need to perform a search action in GitHub. Okay. So that I can achieve business goal. So what type of business goal I will achieve for validating the correct user? So this is my narrative. So based on this narration, we need to create the scenarios. So we can create as many scenarios as we can. So you need to add the scenario tag before creating the scenario, and this is the scenario description. So you can change the scenario description as per your scenario. So my scenario is to search in GitHub. Okay. So this is my scenario, and as we are following BDD, so as JBehave is a BDD tool, we need to use gherkin keywords. So given, when, then are the gherkin keywords. So we will write in a plain English way so everyone can understand. If someone from high level comes to see your automation framework, they can't go to your code and see whatever you have written. Instead, they will use the BDD gherkin simple English manner code which you have written, so they can identify, okay, these scenarios have been developed as part of automation testing. Okay, so that is the reason we are using BDD framework and using these tools. So let's write the given statements. In the given statement, you can write whatever the prerequisite you want to do for starting the scenario. So as I'm searching in GitHub, first I need to launch the application. So in order to launch the, so I need to launch the GitHub page. So once you launch the GitHub page, what you need to do? So the when specifies what action you need to perform. So I need to perform search action, search GitHub user. So once you search for GitHub user, then so once you search, the next thing is what you are performing with the action. So I need to validate that. So I need to validate the username. So this is a simple check-in step. So if you go through this scenario, I see it is searching for an user in GitHub. So the basically what are the steps we are using? We are launching a GitHub page, then searching GitHub user, then validating the username. Okay. So and also we can use parameters. Okay. So in order to use parameters, we need to use examples keyword here. Okay. So examples keyword. So under examples keyword, you can add as many parameters as you can. So every time the user will not be the same user. So we need to provide the parameterization for different users. In order to do that, I am using angular bracket for the user. So this user will act as a unique user for every time for every test case. And also we need to validate the username for every user. So I'm making these two strings as parameters, and I can use them here. So first we need to specify what are the parameters. So first one is the user, and the next one is username. Okay. So here you can add So the first username I am adding is user from GitHub, which is having the username as Harish1309, and his username is Harish. Okay, and the second user, we can ask as many users as we can. Okay, this examples keyword can consist of multiple parameters. Okay, so that is the reason we are making it as dynamic here. So instead of writing multiple scenarios, we are using these parameters as examples and we are recreating it many times. Okay, and the second user is Santhosh Ram 786, and the username for this user is Santhosh Kumar M. Okay, so these are the examples keywords, and this is the check-in steps and the scenario. This is how we write the JBehave story. Okay, so in the next video, I will show you how to create the page using the page object model, and which application we are going to perform the our JBehave action for automation. So let's discuss in the next video. Thank you.